Hello, the holiday season is upon us. The year 2020, believe it or not, is actually drawing to a close, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. And here at InTech, today on this episode of Deliver More, I am so happy to introduce you to our panel today. Last time we had the freshman class of InTech, but here we're pulling senior privilege, and I want to introduce you to our panel today and ask these guys to say hello to get us started. With me today is Chris Dole. Chris, how are you today?
I'm great. Happy holidays, Nick.
Happy holidays to you, sir. It's good to see you.
You too.
Chris Lord is here. Chris is a guy that a lot of our clients and around the office, we know him as Wolf. Wolfie, how you doing today?
Doing great. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, bud. Thanks for joining us one more time. And we're joined today by Mike Patterson. Mike wasn't with us last time. Mike, it's great to have you back.
Glad to be back, Nick. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well out there.
Oh, man, this is going to be a lot of fun today. We've got the senior class in. We're pulling some senior privilege. We're going to get these guys to do a couple of things for us. We're going to talk a little bit about holiday traditions towards the end of the show, but they're going to open up some gifts and nice. Share them with you. And before we do that, though, I do have to talk about that last episode of Deliver More. I feel like Frank the Tank. I had a great time on that one, and it was due to the talent of our guests, our esteemed panel. Not just the freshman class, but there was a nice little cameo there by you, Wolf, and That was probably my favorite part. Now, back in 1965, Pete Townsend told us the kids are all right. After that episode, are the kids all right, guys? What did you think?
Yeah, I felt like they did a really good job doing the recommendation, which is what we do every day in here. And they actually thought of some scenarios that I didn't and brought some interesting perspective to the table. So I was really happy. It actually caught me off guard a little bit, being the senior member. I'm thinking I got all the answers, but they did a phenomenal job. I was really happy.
I was impressed. I was so glad that we did the switcheroo with you and me, and you jumped in this seat because I don't know how I would have kept that up. They're answering
Chris,
on the
real quick. Chris, are you shocked that Wolfie said they did a great job? I mean, he's the one that's responsible for training them. If he said anything other than that,
I know
it would have been like a game changer.
Yeah, they suck. They're still learning.
I'm a coach supporting my players, man.
Customers don't listen to them.
Mike, what was your favorite part of that episode?
I think my favorite part is when Patrick got the wrong answer and then got buzzed and was eliminated. He had this look of shock and then embarrassment and disappointment. I think he really thought he was the favorite to win and then just was in last place. Just virtually off the podium, so to speak.
I didn't have money on any particular one of the guests, but I was impressed, top to bottom, in particular, because I came around the time that Patrick and Tyler started. Bucci was here a little bit before them, right. And I said in that episode, I was just amazed at how much they pick up, and I was just so impressed by how quickly they could answer the different questions that Wolf had for them. So that was a lot of fun. That was last time. That was last month. Today, it's December. And one of the things that we're going to do today, we're going to coat the InTech Christmas tree. So we have some gifts that the panel has today. And I want to begin with you, Chris Dole. Let's get going.
Awesome.
Let's unwrap the first gift.
All right, just like on Christmas morning, I'm going to get the biggest box.
Nice.
The maximizer.
That's right. Oh, I've got something that's near and dear to my heart. So this is
all right.
The old blue coated Teflon bolt. So
there we go.
Yeah. So this bolt, this coating gives the gift of UV resistance, but also has some slip with its PTFE. And you also get a very important property that's important for the oil and gas industry, the chemical corrosion industry, and water treatment industry, which is some anti-galling effects. So why this is typically coated is to prevent galling or seizing of the bolt. So obviously bolts are used to put a variety of different mechanical applications together. And when they see highly corrosive environments or chemical chemical issue environments or UV issues, they'll oftentimes seize, and then you can't unscrew the bolt. So what the coating does is it gives you that nice slip. And it's a huge marketplace that Chemours has gotten us into that marketplace here in the last 8 years. And it's just a great product, and it really serves its purpose well in those industries.
And Chris is our guru in this market. He created it, did all the work to get our coatings specified and down in Houston and other parts unknown. So great job, Chris, with this one. This wasn't even on our sales records, 8-10 years ago. So this is awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. And it's a good testament of kind of doing the right things from a phone standpoint. You call around, you find out what people's using. We found out our competitor had a huge presence in that oil and gas industry. And, we delivered the performance criteria to Chemours, and their illustrious technical team came up with a product that, not only compares to the competitor, but also has significant advantages from a UV protection standpoint. So, really proud of the development of both Intech and Chemours in helping to put this product in place. And
quite a gift.
Yeah, quite a gift, and it's one of our highest movers now.
That's excellent. The true spirit of the season. That is a gift that extends beyond and truly keeps on giving, right?
That's right.
All right, Clark. Now, outstanding. Thank you so much, Dole. Wolfie, would you do the honors and let's unwrap a gift?
Sure. Is there always a strategy to how to open your gifts, whether you're like slow and meticulous or you just tear into it? And
I think you're a tear into type of person.
I try to slow it down. You hold your emotions, but it just doesn't happen sometimes. All right. So here we go. Oh,
Spence. Come on.
Ruby red panel.
Ooh.
All right. So Ruby red PFA. So this is not a coating for the faint of heart. It's not the one you want to start your coating work on. Like if you've never coated in Teflon, you don't want to start with Ruby red, mainly because it is a second to none product. I mean, this is the gold standard for chemical resistance. It is it's a filled PFA, obviously Ruby red color, which is a dead giveaway.
Seasonal.
Very seasonal. I almost see it in my sweater here. But anyway, it is it has unparalleled performance for chemical resistance. PFA is rated to 500 degrees, and it's a thick film option. So you can build it. The powder's up to 20-25 mils, and the water-based version up to 40 mils. It takes some definite care and processing, because it's you've got to watch the cure. It's multiple coats, so there's a lot that goes into it. But the value in it is it unparalleled chemical resistance. Plus, it allows people to get out of having to buy exotic metals for their tanks and things like that, where you see this coating used. You're able to maybe go with a cheaper metal and put a very, very good coating on the inside for protection. And this is not a job that, comes around every year. We don't see the same Ruby red job coming back year after year, because if it does, then there's something wrong. Because these are jobs where guys are looking for, multiple years of protection. It's well worth the investment when you go this route. And I'm not sure, Mike, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that anybody has a product like this out in the industry, like this one.
I think it's one of a kind, and we've had that for quite a while in our product mix, and it continues to bring high performance in a lot of really aggressive environments. So yeah, it's really unique, high value, it's awesome coating.
So it's durable, it lasts long. I've got an inquiry here from a potential customer. Could it coat a sleigh? That's the only thing. Would you'd sign off?
Sleigh can fit in an oven for sure. We'll go for it, as long as it's all metal.
All right, I'm gonna have to get back to Mr. Kringle on that one. All right, Ruby Red, another gift of this season. Let's move right along. Mike, you've got one on.
My turn. Sweet. Let me figure out which one I'm going to open first. I'm going with the Dole technique of going with the larger box.
That's a good technique. Let's do it. Woo!
All right, so here we have a waffle plate.
Oh.
In the camera.
All right.
And this represents the food processing industry.
Okay.
And Teflon is a real gift to the food processing industry from a lot of different standpoints. It brings nonstick, obviously one of the key attributes of Teflon, so you can reduce your dependency on oil and grease and things like that. It brings durability, so especially important when you're talking about breads and cookies that are surprisingly abrasive, and doughs, for that matter, have gotten more abrasive over time as they've added, nuts and different poppy seeds and different things like that to the bread. So durability is a huge thing. High temperature resistance is needed in food processing, and Teflon delivers that up to 500 F. So you've got that well in hand, which can accommodate almost any product out there. And what else am I missing? You need some chemical resistance. Teflon brings that to food processing. Some of those things can be a little caustic, some of the batters, some of the different things that are being processed. Because it's not just breads. I mean, breads is like the one everybody thinks of, but it's also used in things like vessels and tanks that first say juices and different things like that. So it's a great industry. Teflon brings a lot to food processing, and there's a lot of different areas of food processing. I mean, you think of like a food processing, it has like a ton of tentacles. The cookware that you see out there, bakeware, breads, cookies, crackers, cheese processing, snack foods are all used with Teflon coated chutes to help move them down the conveyor systems. The waffle plate I just held up it's a great one, but in times like this during COVID, the hotels, the institutional areas, that they're not doing as much because the people aren't traveling as much. So it's kind of interesting. Like, while that segment is a little soft, other areas, like any product that's going into home use, those sales are surging. Mike, because people are eating more at home and getting fatter, probably.
I know I am. Didn't you mention the reduction of gluten as the gluten-free products have kind of entered the marketplace? That puts more of a strain on the coatings as well. Yeah,
it does. It's the type of thing that as you reduce and to make it more gluten-free doughs, it ends up making it a stickier product. Gotcha. And so that requires either more grease, which is kind of counterintuitive to having a healthy product. Right. So it allows for Teflon to take a foothold in that part of the segment that, really a few years ago, there wasn't even a gluten-free type scenario. And now it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. It's kind of funny too. Like, I know we talk about this internally, and especially when we do our I3 training courses, like food processing, you think of it as preparing and making the food, but there's all these shoulder or connected industries that go with it too, like packaging and molding of like the microwave food dishes. Those are all molded with Teflon coated parts, and all the seal bars for the packaging. It's encompasses, depending on how far you want to take the industry, it's massive.
No doubt.
And I think the big value too, Mike, is, it may be a large upfront cost to get all of that equipment coated, but you don't have to touch it for years. And I think the biggest thing that, people and, commercial bakery sites get locked into is just sacrificially spraying grease on every single time. So you've got
silicone glaze.
Yeah, silicone glaze. You've got these kind of sacrificial automated versions that have to be completely turned over several times, where, the old saying, you get what you pay for. If you do it right the first time with a good Teflon system, you really don't have to worry about all that, ancillary costs and kind of processes.
Yeah. This is an industry too, just to kind of add to one more thing. It is in constant evolution in terms of how the products are made and the demands that those products have on the coated surface or uncoated surface that should be coated. So one thing we spend a lot of time doing at Intech is keeping our eye and keeping a pulse of what's happening out there in these various subsegments. And there's a fringe benefit to that, and that we go to these trade shows like the pizza show or the tortilla show, and because that's where you learn, that's where you talk to the people who are designing and using the equipment and really understand how our coating can add value. But at the same time, it's limitless free food at those things. So it was so much it was like the pizza show Bucci and I went to a couple of years ago, and like I don't even think we ate dinner that night. We threw down.
We need to find a beer application for sure.
I've been searching.
I think there are a lot of disappointed people when it was announced that they wouldn't be doing the pizza show this year in Las Vegas. That's for sure. But it's funny when you were taking me through like a kind of like an introductory course, if you will, Mike, about Teflon products, and you brought up this particular industry. I wouldn't even think of it. and yet Teflon's like omnipresent. It's
Right.
everywhere, and that was the
Yeah.
one that was really mind bending for me. I was like, wow, when you stop and think.
Yeah, outsiders just view it as cookware, and
Yeah.
that's like the tip of the
sure.
iceberg.
I'd agree. Like just stuff your kids eat, like the string cheese, like those molds, all of those are coated, so that you can get a release. So the food just shows up at the grocery store, and it's hard to get your head around how it was actually processed in bulk form.
Yeah, just how many cooks,
Eating
if you will.
waffles. Ooh, I love
Waffles. That was a staple in my house when the kids were younger too, for sure.
for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, Dole, let's go right back to you, sir.
All right.
How about another gift?
Nice.
Okay.
Back around.
Oh, nice. So I have got 958G313 panels.
Ooh.
So that's the other extreme, right? So you have Ruby Red, and now we're into our Teflon S series, our one coats. So 958G313 is like the best of both worlds. A staple product of ours, we call it our dry lube line, is 958G303. So the 313 is kind of like your tougher, older sibling. So it has all the slip that the 303 has with the PTFE component, but it's got some abrasion resistance. It's got some fillers in there. So you get the slip, but you also get a little toughness to help ward off any abrasion for these one coats. And one coats are, pretty simple to apply. Typically they're lower cured products. You've just got one nice thin coat of 1 mil. So they're more cost effective, but can be, that they can certainly be just as effective in certain applications as some of your multi-coats. So the 313 primarily is used for OEM automobile industry on brake clips. So again, something you wouldn't think of. I know I've got brake pads on my car's going to the shop tomorrow. So I'll ask if those clips have the 313 on them, but they're specified there to help remove that brake pad dust. Typically you get a little release action there. But then we've been seeing a lot of traction recently in the gun industry, believe it or not. So, you've got some slip, you've got some abrasion. Those two unique characteristics are needed for gun clips a lot of times. So as the bullets are rolling through there, or any of the slides, the injector pins, any of those moving parts in guns are also using and migrating to this as an alternative to Cerakote, where people are seeing that the Teflon branded product has much better abrasion, still getting some UV resistance and some corrosion resistance, but still providing that slip to make sure that firearm works like it should.
And one other thing about that, Chris, is the matte finish, which is, for the firearm group seems to be really popular. And the ease of application of our one coats. They're ready to go right out of the can, simple to apply. And, and a lot of these coaters are coating hundreds or thousands of parts. So the last thing you want to do is be gummed up and, trying to get your material set, maintain consistency and things like that. And that's something we really hang our hat on is the consistency of the product that we have.
Yeah. Great point. Yeah.
A true gift to the industry. Outstanding. Wolf, how about you do the honors and give us another gift?
All right, here we go. Kind of a segue to what Chris was just talking about.
So
I actually have a brake clip.
Oh, geez.
The brake clip.
Back to the automotive industry.
So you can see, maybe you're not using a lot of coating, but when you multiply this by several million, it starts to add up after a while. So this clip actually has 958G313 on it. And one of the main reasons why you have small components in the automotive industry coated in something like 313 is for NVH, which is noise, vibration, and harshness. And one of the things this does is makes it anti-squeak. Automobiles are crazy expensive these days. The last thing somebody wants to do when they spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on a vehicle is hear an annoying squeak. And try to figure out where it's coming from. Oh, it's my glove box or something like that. And everybody hears squeaky brakes all the time. I mean, you can hear a car go by and be like, "What's going on there?" That guy, I don't want to be riding behind that guy.
All right.
He may not stop the next time he goes to hit the brakes. Who knows?
Well, I got a story for you around if you have any kids that drive. You just put them in that car, and obviously you never get in it again. So I had to take my daughter's car to work today, and there's this crazy vibration coming from the back, and they don't tell you. You're like, what is
they can't
going
hear because the
on?
radio's on too.
The radio. That is super important.
But to your point, I did not want to hear that vibration the whole time.
Yeah, they tell you when you drive a car, especially a used one, you drive it with the radio off so you can hear everything that's going on.
That makes sense.
A lot of times people immediately turn up the volume and they're like, the radio is awesome. Now you don't hear any of the problems with the vehicle.
Yeah, the used car salesman just cranks it up.
Yeah, wow.
But anyway, so this is the automotive industry, and what's, it's a great business segment for us. You have small in-car parts like this that are coated, which are high volume, but, low dollar type of pieces, to coating tooling, things like molds for like fascia. So, in the industry, you have a lot of lightweighting going on because they're trying to improve miles per gallon. So there's a lot of plastic in vehicles now, and they mold that plastic, and Teflon can, be a release agent, a permanent one, sprays and things like that for the release of the molds. You have the cars going through multiple washes on carriers with chemicals and things like that. And you can coat those carriers in, like an ETFE coating to be chemically resistant, easy to clean, will hold up to, cleaning and things like that. So there's a lot of different sectors in the automotive industry. And it's not just, our one coat Teflon coatings. It all depends on what the need is. And we see it. We also have the paint grates coated, because they electrostatically spray the coatings on, and, they'll stick to everything, and it gums up the airflow in the booths. Well, we have an anti-static or static dissipating coating that can go on the grates that will keep those coatings from building up on them. So, again, your mind can get blown sometimes when you think about the applications that come up, because, a lot of people are in that mindset of like food and pans, and there's so many other things that Teflon can do. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Mike, do you feel like playing Santa one more time?
Absolutely. What we got here? I have a smaller box, beautifully wrapped, by the way. Nick, did you do this?
It's what I do. I can't stop wrapping things. No, of course.
One of those guilty pleasures he has. He wraps all the gifts in the house.
So what I've unveiled is a panel of PFA. This one is 532 7000 PFA, and this is a sparkling clear. It's over a black primer, hence the black appearance. But PFA is a real gift to the coating world, and in a lot of different applications. I mean, I talked about food processing. It's used there. There's places in automotive where it's used. As those car carriers go through the high temperature paint ovens, if you coat those with PFA, it's easier to clean. What industry? Oil and gas. There's areas where they need corrosion resistance on different parts that PFA can be a benefit. I mean, it's such a universal coating and provides chemical resistance, food processing, FDA conforming, high temperature. It's release. It's like a really, really versatile product that's used in many different industries successfully. And I think from our standpoint at Intech, and we have a variety of products that Chemours makes that are PFA based. Things like an old standard workhorse like 532 5010, which is the same as this 7000. It just doesn't have the sparkle. We've got 5011, which is a fine particle size for like real small or detailed type mold, is outstanding there. We've got some high build products. We've got different molecular weights, and just kind of the quick lesson on molecular weight there. A lot of things you think about the molecular weight is how long the molecule is when it goes in there. So the longer it is, the tougher, more durable it is. And so the best scenario I give you for that is like something that heat cycles a lot, like a light in a warehouse or a heat lamp in a restaurant to keep the food hot. That stuff is on, off, like a lot of stress on that coating.
Big time.
And so a low molecular weight PFA would get brittle and stress crack over time. Whereas a high molecular weight, the molecule is longer, it's tougher, just a more durable stress crack resistant coating. So it excels in areas that other coatings can't even survive, a couple of days. So, we've got a couple different molecular weight products. We have different melt flow rate products, which melt flow rate correlates to how smooth the coating will be when it's on the finished coating or on the finished part. So we've got a lot of different coating options here. And we obviously don't expect everybody to know everything that we have and where it's best used, which is why we're here, to help walk you through this cornucopia of PFA products.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I threw
Very
that
nice.
I love
Thanksgiving
that
reference.
word.
but
Oh,
yeah.
I know. That's a
That
was
great
good.
word.
But it really is. I mean, there's a lot out there, and it's, we like with the Ruby Red is one that Chris talked about earlier. I mean, there's a lot of different PFA products that deliver a lot of value to many industries out there. So certainly keep that stuff in mind, and don't hesitate to ever let us help you make a selection.
Absolutely. And allow us to deliver more. And in the
Hey.
spirit of delivering more, lastly, I want Chris, Wolf, Mike, you all have one package left to open up. And as you do this, as we call upon each one of you, just take a look at that. We wrapped up there and really think, this is a gift. This is a true gift to our company, to our industry, and let us know. So we're going to go back right around the horn again. Chris Dole, could you open up your final gift?
Final gift.
Ooh, is it a small box?
Yeah, I
Mine
wanted
is-
to go
mine's
back
a
to the
small
small
box.
ones.
Yes, you were right. The gift of our business services team.
Business
Oh.
services. Who do you have there, Chris?
So we've got Elena, April, Tara, and Karen. So those four wonderful ladies make up our
right.
business service team, and they give us the gift of presence. Like what I did there. They are
like the way you did
present
that.
on the phone. And Mike's done a really good job of really instilling a culture in such a highly automated age. My favorite one is where I go to the credit card company. I type my credit number in. The first thing the person asks me is, what is your account number? And you're like, why did I type it in? And Mike has instilled, having a presence with our customers so that when they call in, it's our motto that within 2 rings, you're going to get a person. You're going to get oftentimes these great ladies that are, the front line for in-tech services, and they provide warmth, but also a genuine desire to help. And that's why our technical service team is always available here too. At the end of the day, it's in-tech's desire to provide that connection to help people with a lost shipment, help people with a product recommendation, to help people with anything related to the Teflon industry. And I think that truly is what, differentiates us. And, Elena, Tara, April and Karen do a phenomenal job, of exhibiting those qualities. And I think many of our customers know Mary Hartso, who actually recently retired a year ago. And Karen is here now. And I think she's got over 20 years here. Yep. So it's something that, they clearly enjoy, and they do an excellent job, making our customers feel welcome.
Yeah, it's easy to understate the value they bring, because they're the face of the company. They talk to more people than I do every day. Mm-hmm. They are excellent at what they do, and they're really the focal point of our customer interaction. And little known fact is Karen is actually the first person I ever hired in my young career. Yeah.
Wow.
It was when my mom was starting to phase out back in like 96, 97, something like that.
Okay.
That Karen came on board, and I hired her away from a vendor, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
On the naughty list.
Young power move.
Yeah, man.
But
that's awesome.
But they're awesome. I mean, they do a great job. I'm really proud of what they do, and it's in many ways it's a thankless job, because people don't really compliment them. People complain about a product or a delivery date or whatever. But they've developed relationships with a lot of people in the industry that really help to get through whenever there's a problem. That relationship helps, and they do a great job at fostering that.
I don't want to bypass the fact that Mike just came up with one of my favorite new terms now, the YPM, the young power move. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that next time a kid does something. I'm like, God damn it, that was a power move. But I want to go back to something really important that you both touched on. It's not only that you get a human being on the phone. That is rather exceptional in this day and age.
Yeah.
But knowing them, personally, you get not just a human being, you get somebody who does care
Yeah.
and is going to extend themselves and provide, if I can't get you what you need, we're going to get you what you need. And I think they all kind of embody that value that you just talked about. So that truly is a gift that we have them here representing Intech, and Merry Christmas to them all. That was a wonderful gift to begin this round. And,
A true
and get
gift.
going. A true gift.
Present.
Yeah. I'd like, Wolf, if you could play Santa one more time for us.
Sure.
and let us know what you have.
Right, here we go.
The anticipation.
Yeah, it's killing me.
You said true gift. Here we go.
Oh,
This is the true gift.
Wow.
For those that don't know who this might be,
yeah, explain, please.
this is Dave Jones, and Dave Jones is our warehouse manager. He's kind of like Tom Hanks in Castaway. He's over in the warehouse.
Tom Cruise would have been way cooler. You just jammed.
Yeah, he's over in the warehouse working by himself, but we do have video cameras on him, so we get to watch him every day.
That's for his own safety, to make sure nothing happens.
It's true.
But anyway, the gift that Dave brings to the table for sure is dependability. I mean, Dave works for me, and I'm his backup actually when he takes time off. So if you ever have any shipments that aren't quite right, it could be me working for Dave.
It most likely is.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I mean,
in.
I never worry about Dave being here. He is super committed to doing his job every day. He takes control of everything in the warehouse. So that's something that is really important to us because, our next day shipment and getting products out the door is one of the main things we hang our hats on. And Dave is always there to do that. And like I said, I don't lose any sleep or get up in the morning and go like, oh my gosh, we got to switch things around. I got to go run to the warehouse. Dave's got something going on. That just never seems to happen. He's so committed. And he worked for Mike on a part-time basis because he's actually an old UPS driver who's retired and came to work for Intech full time. Yep. But he used to deliver packages during the day for UPS and then come pack our stuff at night. So It was and he did that. And when I first got here, he was doing it. I don't know how long he's been with you, Mike. Maybe is he getting close to like 20 years now?
Yeah, I don't know. He was. Yeah, it's counting part time. I'll bet it is. Yeah, he's been with us for quite a while.
We'll call him experience, not old.
He's veteran. He's veteran.
His energy is crazy. I mean,
no doubt.
I hope when I'm his age, he's a little older than me, not much, but I hope I maintain that energy level that he's got.
You don't have that energy level now. He works circles around you.
It's something I strive for. Yeah.
Wolf, we're not done with this one because if people are watching and not listening, if you could hold the picture back up because I want to ask Mike something. This might be something I don't know. It doesn't seem like proper hiring practice. Now, why do you make Jones wear that uniform when he's?
This is part of our Christmas tradition. We do like a Secret Santa type thing or a white elephant or whatever it was that year, and that was Dave's gift that he got was that kind of elf outfit. So that was good. And then so we made him put it on. He took pictures, and we were able to find one of those pictures for today. I see. So that's a good archive item.
I got to do a callback to the freshman class. I remember, I recall one day in the summer a year or two ago, and I don't know if it was Patrick or Ty. I think it was Patrick because it just sounds like him. Somebody said, "Where are you going today?" He's like, "I got to go over and I got to spend a day in Davy Jones's locker." So I didn't know if that's what they were calling the warehouse for a bit.
Yeah, basically.
But everybody here certainly values what Dave brings to the table and how he kind of keeps everything running for us. So Merry Christmas, Dave. Thanks for always being there. Thanks for keeping us on time and allowing us to deliver more. Yep. We're going to turn it right back to Mike. Mike, You've got a gift?
I certainly do.
One more, sir.
Small box. Somebody track over on tape. Okay, here we go. Oh, all right. My gift is our controller, CFO, numbers extraordinaire, Monica Trout.
All right.
Monica this is a good story. Monica I've known for almost 20 years, about 19 years. We met through her oldest son and my middle son are in the same school. the same grade. So they met in preschool or kindergarten, or whatever it was. And so that's when my wife, Karen, and I met Monica and Larry. And so we've been friends, ever since. And our two sons were best of friends. Their little brothers are best friends. I mean, so that we each have 3 kids and they're like one big gang. And so they all played sports together and everything else. So I've known Monica for a long time. We've been great friends. And I had the opportunity to hire her at Intech to help on a part-time accounting basis, and then moved into a full-time role. And she's been awesome ever since. So, and it's way beyond accounting, what she brings to the table. She is a true resource for just business management and strategy. And she will grind through numbers like no one else is. Spreadsheets are one of her best friends, I think. I mean, she's awesome. She manages the business service group that Chris Dole had. So, I mean, she's a real key part of what we do at Intech, and we can't do it without her. So she is absolutely a gift to us and to our customers, because the things around here don't happen without her. So she's great. And so one funny thing is, like, this picture is this was at the Intech 20-year anniversary party.
Oh,
and
that's a good memory.
Larry looks
it was
good.
like a black tie event. Yeah, he has like a light blue jacket.
Yeah,
it is
he
nice.
looks. Yeah. He looks like that guy from 902, like Dylan or something from 90210.
But the funny part about Monica, like the kind of the yin and yang of her, is that she's a huge gambler. So this is this is at the craps table that we had. We had a casino night, and so this is at the craps table, and so it's kind of like a weird thing. Like, when I realized how much she enjoyed blackjack and craps and everything else, I was like, and wait a minute, you're the one that's in charge of the money. But she is of utmost morals and everything else. So I lose zero sleep, and she's the absolute best in every regard. So,
and she's not a risk taker financially. She's like super ultra conservative, like Christmas club person. Like,
you put her on the craps table, look out.
That's because she's turned that Christmas club. Yeah, she's doubled it over the course of the year.
She's taking a big.
Needs a little seed money.
Betting on the Browns.
Oh.
Next week.
You talk about essential, when you use the term, we've used it a lot this year, right? Essential personnel Absolutely. Reporting. Monica really does. I mean, she's the definitive essential person. It would be really hard to see a place like this run without someone of her caliber. And even working other places, sometimes people that wear that particular hat that Monica wears, sometimes they're difficult to track down, get an answer from. Sometimes they're just difficult to deal with. None of those things you can say about Monica.
Her accessibility is awesome, and and she has that accounting role. But there's so many things that she does for me on a weekly basis that that we count on her for. That otherwise, I would struggle getting the information. So, and she's always on top of it. She delivers it to you in a timely manner, and like Mike said, she also gives you her opinion too. Like, here's what I looked at the numbers. Here's what I think. And it's awesome. I love it. The interaction's been great.
Yeah, and one of the big things I know she helps Wolfie and Mike with is the forecasting to make sure that we always have products available for people. Yeah. So another one of the value propositions of Intech, make sure someone's there to answer the phone, and then we have products that we can get to our customers so they can do the job.
A lot of hours on that forecast and ordering.
Well, it's a good place to land for us right now. We talk about unwrapping these gifts that are the gift of just excellent personnel. Which a lot of companies can't, unwrap that particular gift. Since we're there and we can talk about this community, I wanted to just ask a couple of questions about the holidays and about what we come to expect and what we do at this time of year. So, Mike, I wanted to start with you and get your perspective on this, because it's always interested me. Could you tell us a little bit about the importance of establishing, and not just establishing, but maintaining traditions around the holiday season, and how that contributes to the kind of team and the kind of community that you work really hard towards having here at Intech?
Right. One of the things that we're, culture and having a steady team is something we take a lot of pride in. Mm-hmm. And so, for, I don't know how long, but we've established a tradition of being closed from right before Christmas all the way through till basically New Year. And we have an emergency ship day in there should anybody have a situation where they need product. But we really take our time off, because we work hard throughout the year to do our job. But to me, the tradition of making sure people have time away, time with their family, time to themselves, to recharge, that is of utmost importance. And I think it's really critical in establishing a strong core culture in the company, because people look forward to that. They look forward to having that time away to be with their friends and family. And although it may look different this year, the time away is still needed. And it's going to let everybody come back invigorated, ready to do the new things that we have on our horizon in 2021. So that's, I think, one of our biggest traditions is taking that time away and coming back ready to rock.
No doubt. And I think that it's so cool, like, just to hear, when you have to explain to people, oh, so these dates, we give these to our employees, they're home. If you need something, we'll certainly take care of it. I don't think you've gotten many responses from people that look at you like you're crazy. I think people are looking at it like, maybe that's the way we're supposed to treat our team.
I think when we first started doing this, you guys know, say 10 years ago, some companies did this. I feel like now a lot more companies do that, or they have it where people have so much PTO that they, take off from the middle of December on because they bank it up. So I feel like it's becoming kind of the norm, whereas when we first started doing it, it was pretty rare.
Well, I came from, corporate America, and Mike, this has always been a family business. So you've always treated us like a family. And I think, this kind of policy is yet another one of the many things that you do to make us feel, like a family member, and then let us go and spend that time with the family. And I remember, you would throw in a couple days in between that Christmas break in corporate America just because you didn't want to burn your vacation days, but nothing got done. No one was there.
Right.
And so, really, it was like, not an efficient use. And I think, like you said, Mike, no one did it before. I think more people are understanding that work-life balance, you're kind of ahead of your time culturally, I think, to kind of make sure that work-life balance was in place for us. And I think that's what's made this place so special, for sure.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Very well said, Chris. As far as the culture here, Wolfie, could you take me into your perspective? Describe the first traditional Christmas you experienced here at Intech. What was your take, and what's your favorite part?
Yeah, what was that? Which year was that?
I was
Where was that?
Well, it's funny. My first year would have been 2009. And I came from the financial industry, and I had only been here a couple months, really, because I started in October. And, I never had this whole week off thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I don't have to work the whole, and I think one of the first years I was here, I was 11 days off, for the Christmas break. But Mike had everybody at his house for
nice.
Was that the first? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
And it was, and we obviously have kept, as we grew, it changed a little bit, but Mike had everybody at the house for his, for the Christmas party for Intech. And, and it was obviously a great time. My wife's real first exposure to Intech. And at the time, my wife was into the baking business. We had a cake and cupcake business, and she made all these cupcakes for Mike's party. And what's funny is, everybody had a good time and got lost in the conversation and things like that. I remember coming back in, and Mike was like, dude, we never broke out your wife's cupcakes until after the party. And he's like, they were slamming. He's like, we were eating them all night. All that stuff. It was kind of cool. So I was like, oh my gosh, which ones did you make? And she was just making different stuff. She's super talented in doing that stuff. But anyway, but that was the first. And again, we've kept that tradition going. And, COVID obviously is maybe getting in the way of that a little bit this year. But, it's everybody's gotten used to it, and it's morphed into, the whole gift exchange now. And that's a great time.
That's the last time I had it at my house. Actually.
Yeah.
You guys trashed my place. So
Much younger than
ruin that one. Yeah. Damn it. It honestly, I got to say, being involved and being part of it, I don't use this word, lightly. I think the way you handle the holidays here is exemplary. And I do think that other people look at it. I think other people look at it and think, wow, that's the way you treat people. People work hard, they push hard, particularly that fourth quarter of the year. And then go recharge. And then the things that you're able to do, before I go to Chris, it was just, I recall this from last year. I remember, last year sidling up at the bar with Chris, and it was like one of the first times I was able to talk to Chris at length, for a while. And then you connect that way. You got stuff to talk about. It's a great way to build community and to support community. So in that sense,
the fabric.
It's true. It's so true. And in that sense, Dole, if I can go to you, what's your hope for Christmas 2020? Because obviously circumstances aren't ideal. It might seem to limit what you can do, but I got to think with this group of people, that's got to be motivating in a way, right?
I don't know about motivating. I mean, because I'm really concerned that we're going to be able to come up with an organization to kind of mirror what you just said. I'm not going to be able to kind of have a personal one-on-one conversation and I get energy from those things. I mean, that's what I'm all about, is that in-person experience. And, you get so caught up in the day-to-day that, that Christmas experience is really one of, the few times where you can kind of relax as an organization, get to talk to the people you don't normally get to talk to at length. The other funny part is what was great about the 11-day vacation is you got to go home, just kind of hang out at home. That's the last place I want to be.
It's like your normal office now.
Yeah, I think I might come in here all 11 days, just to mix it up.
Throwing back the curtain. Don't worry, fifth year can edit that out if we need to.
Oh yeah, no, it has nothing to do. It's just more of a sign of the time. It had nothing to do with the. Yeah, I know you guys are all kidding. Yeah. No, I mean, just we've been at home so much. God, I used to love those days because you finally got to be in your castle, and this is what you worked for. And now I really miss. I really miss the the office time that we don't get on a routine basis anymore.
Do you have this feeling that I have too, that I'm not going to wear like tracksuits or sweatpants ever again? I think I'm just going to dress in suits once this is all over. I'm too used to bumming around my house.
Today I was shaving and getting ready, and at the same time as my wife, and she's like, "Oh wow, like this doesn't happen that often anymore." Like
new job,
getting ready at 7 a.m. Yeah, I mean,
hey, why are you up so early? What are you doing?
What the hell? Yeah. And
I joked with my wife the other day. I was like, "We should sell our house so I can buy a new one and go hang out some other place." Tired of hanging out in my house.
Seriously.
All right, boys. I want to put you on the holiday hot seat, and I want to give you a quick quiz. Let's see if the panel here can go 3 for 3 with some very, very, very difficult holiday trivia. Wolf, according to the song Winter Wonderland, all right, in the meadow, you know the one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently we can build a snowman there.
Right.
What can we call him?
Oh, God.
In the meadow, we can build a snowman and pretend
he's a circus clown or something like that.
Circus.
All right, we're 0 for 1. Parson Brown.
Parson Brown. Close enough.
Damn it. I thought it was Mr. Brown or something. But where did you get circus clown? That's a rough snowman.
It's the next it's in the lyric. It completes the rhyme, I think, somewhere.
It does.
Yeah, going like we can call him
can we enable the chat feature so if anybody knows the answer?
No.
Usually pretty good at trivia too.
No, we can't. No cell phones. Put them away. Cheat sheets away. All right. In order to deliver more, Santa Claus has a roster of highly reliable reindeer in that coated sled of his. Chris Dole, I'm sorry. Yes. One of Santa's reindeer has the same name as another holiday mascot. Give me the name of that reindeer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wolfie's got it.
Chat.
Wolfie's got it. Who wants to tag in? The only person that can tag in here is Mike. Mike, do you have to phone a friend?
Let's go Dancer.
Dancer. The correct answer would be
Cupid.
It would be Cupid.
Yeah.
Cupid. Now,
Blitzen for the Super Bowl.
I locked up on that thing.
All right. We can't don't lock up here, Mike. This is a really important one. According to the old song, apparently it's about me, the way I wrote this. What did my true love give me on the 11th day of Christmas?
Ooh. I don't know.
I think I might know it.
Going
Is
through
it like
those-
11 swans of singing? Or something like that? What is that?
Close.
the
Maids
swans.
of milking.
What is
No.
Maids of milking?
No, I'm sorry, Dole. I'm sorry, Dole. Wolfie, to redeem everybody.
Oh my God.
it? Come on.
I have no idea. I really don't. I'm like drawing a blank.
It's got to be the worst goddamn gift anybody can get. If you wake up to 11 pipers piping.
That's terrible.
What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Bonus for redemption.
Okay.
All right. If you add up all those gifts in the 12 days of Christmas and they're given in sequence. See what we're talking about?
Major math problem.
December 25th through the 6th. Add up all the gifts of the 12 days of Christmas. How many gifts are we left with?
Powers of 12.
I think I know it.
Mike thinks he knows it.
Go for it.
Dole's working it out.
It'll take
Wolf
too
saying-
long. I'm only at 4 and I'm way over 100.
Wolfie just texted Monica to ask for the answer because she's Wolfie's math liaison.
I'm on the Teflon app trying to figure it out.
With a stab, anybody?
364.
364 exactly.
Nice.
Mike redeems the team. Mike Patterson for
Thank
the
God.
win. Oh, it's a wonderful math problem around this time of year. Now, real quick, just for fun and games, when you were a kid, Wolf, let's start with you. Did you have a gift like a Christmas story? What was your Red Ryder BB gun? The thing that little Wolf wanted more than anything?
Oh my gosh, it was. I don't even know what it was, but it was remember with the box radios. You know, the box,
the
like the
boom boxes.
Panasonic Platinum box, like all that.
Yeah.
I had a box radio that I wanted so bad, and what's really funny is I don't know if kids are watching this, but my mother forgot to get it out, and I was like, "Damn, I did not
I don't think
get,
so.
I did not get that." And she goes, I swear I got one of those, and we ended up having to find it. It was like an Easter egg hunt. We had to go find
even
it.
better. Double.
But yeah, that was like I was, getting into music and all that stuff.
How old were you then?
I was probably, I don't know, 11 or 12, somewhere around there.
Blast that Run DMC on that
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Mike, what was the equivalent of your Red Ryder BB gun?
When I was about that, like, same age as Chris is talking about, like 10, 11 years old, I remember I really wanted the original Atari. Like, I think it was a 2600 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 2600.
You'd have it was like the old school Pac-Man and Pitfall and all those games with the joystick.
Pitfall.
That was the one where I was
a go-to.
really hype about opening up.
All right, that's a good one. That's a damn good one. I way too many hours playing Pitfall with this guy here.
Oh God, Pitfall.
Dole, what was your Red Ryder BB gun, sir?
Oh, I know these guys know this. What about those thick laces for your sneakers?
Fat laces?
Fat laces. Get some different colors. Work something out. And I know my kids is a trampoline, man. They ask every goddamn year.
Still?
Just took mine down last year, man.
Yeah, my neighbor's
trampoline.
got one, so I'm good to go. I'm like, see you later.
Yeah, they so many times they don't look like a good idea, and you can I see them at beach houses sometimes, and I'm like, oh man, a couple beers and I would be woof.
Yeah,
we had one in college, believe it or not. So the back of our house in college, we we saw many a rolled ankle on that thing.
I'm sure. Oh my god!
Get put on IR.
Miss double bounce. take them right out.
Well, look, before we draw this one to a close, and I really want to thank you all for joining us and your candor today and your answers. A quick look into 2021, Mike. There's going to be some changes with Deliver More. Can you tell us just quickly what's in store?
Yeah, so next year we're really excited about some changes. We're hoping to get live on set where we're all together, filming this in one room. That's just time will tell when we can do that. So we have a set that we're ready to go with. And so we're really excited about that. We've got a lot of new topics already planned out, and it's all around the whole notion of delivering more. So in terms of helping our audience run a better coding business in terms of understanding our products, application, troubleshooting, industries that are emerging, like all that kind of stuff. to help you run a better business with the Teflon product line is our goal. So we've got a great set of just topics and some guests potentially, and some really, really cool ideas that we're hoping to bring next year, and really excited about it. So this has been a fun endeavor, and we're excited to keep it rolling.
Yeah, it's been a blast being able to work on this particular project. So I want to thank you all for that opportunity, and in particular for today for joining us here on Deliver More. Listen, Merry Christmas to the three of you, gentlemen. Dole, Wolf, Mike, thank you so much for being part of this today. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone who's listening and watching. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. We're going to see you in 2021 right back here in Delaware. Have a good one.
See you guys. Thanks.
Merry Christmas. Great
Merry
job,
Christmas.
Nick. Season's greeting, buddy.
Thanks.